Have you ever wondered what happens when a small community decides to protect nature instead of exploit it? I'm talking about a place so unique, so alive, that it has been called a miracle of the sea. Welcome to Cabo Pulmo in Baja California Sur, Mexico, a place where overfishing almost destroyed everything. And then, against all odds, the reef came back, and not just a little, it exploded with life, colors, and energy. Today, I'm taking you into the heart of this incredible ecosystem. Let's dive in. The world we live in often feels like it's losing the fight against destruction. Oceans, forests, species disappearing faster than we can count. But every now and then, a history reminds us that change is possible, and Cabo Pulmo is one of those histories. Just a few decades ago, this reef was dying. Overfishing and human activity had stripped it bare. But the local community made a bold decision. Instead of taking more from the sea, they will protect it. Fishermen became guardians. This small village became a model for sustainable living. And today the results are more than obvious. This place is one of the most important places for diving and conservation and sea recovery in the world. Cabo Pulmo is special for many reasons. First, it's the northernmost living coral reefs in the Americas. It has around 20,000 years old, a living time capsule showing what marine ecosystems once looked like. It is home to several species of fish and 11 types of hard corals, creating a dazzling underwater world of colors, movements, and life. It is also a refuge for marine mammals. Humpback whales migrate here to breed, dolphins place in the currents, and endangered sea turtles find a safe home here. Every dive reveals something new. Sharks gliding silently, rays floating effortlessly, tiny reef fish weaving through the coral, and huge schools of fish that almost block the sunlight. What makes Cabo Pulmo truly remarkable is how it came back to life. The local community stopped commercial fishing entirely and embraced ecotourism. Divers and snorkelers can explore the reef freely without harming it, and the results are astounding. Fish populations have increased over 400% since the time of the creation of the park. Corals have grown back in brilliant colors, and the ecosystem now functions almost as it did thousands of years ago. Every dive feels like a front row seat to a nature documentary, but it is real, alive, and in your hands. Above the water, Baja California Sur is dramatic and unforgiving. Towering mountains rise sharply from the desert floors. Canyons are carved over millennia by wind and shifting tectonic plates. And the arid landscape stretches all the way to the deep blue of the Sea of Cortez. The contrast is stunning. Burnt oranges and sandy browns of the desert set against the vibrant, ever-changing blues of the ocean. It is raw, extreme, and breathtaking. Every turn of the trail offers a new perspective, a reminder that this land has been shaped by forces far greater than us, yet invite us to explore it. The Gulf of California itself is unlike any other body of water. It stretches from warm tropical waters in the south to cooler northern seas, creating a mosaic of habitats that supports an extraordinary diversity of life. Jacques Cousteau famously called it the aquarium of the world, and anyone who has stood in the shoreline and dived beneath its surface would agree. Here, the land and sea interact in a dance that has been going for millennia, creating a living landscape as dynamic as it is beautiful. This place is not just about fish and coral. It has a history about people and their choices. Long before modern settlements, indigenous communities moved through this land, following seasonal resources and respecting the balance of nature. They hunted, fished, and gathered, leaving only footprints and the occasional rock painting, living in harmony with their surroundings. Then, in the 19th century, settlers arrived, drawn by fishing and ranching opportunities. They started small, harvesting pearls and fish, but over time, methods intensified. Sharks were hunted for oil, turtles for their shells, and eventually commercial-scale fishing swept through the area. The reef, once vibrant and full of life, began to deteriorate. Fish populations were decimated, and much of the marine life has disappeared. But then, the local community made a bold choice. They decided to stop taking from the reefs and instead became its protectors. Fishing gave way to tourism. Divers and snorkels arrived, hikers explored the desert trails, and nature lovers discovered the beauty of this remote corner of the world. Slowly, the reef began to heal, almost as if it recognized the change. Fish returned in abundance. Coral grew back in brilliant colors, and the marine ecosystem started functioning again. Cabo Pulmo became a living example of how people can restore what was lost when they choose conservation over exploitation. It is a history of courage, patience, and the profound impact of human choices on the natural world. Diving in Cabo Pulmo is truly unforgettable. Every time you descend, the reef feels alive, unpredictable, and full of surprise. You never know what will appear around the next coral outcrop. A school of jacks so dense it forms a moving wall, glinting in the sunlight filtering through the water. Rays glide silently across the sandy bottom, their wings barely disturbing the ocean as they move. Sharks patrol gracefully in the deeper areas, reminding you that this reef is a real thriving ecosystem. On occasions, humpback whales make a dramatic appearance during their migration, while playful mobulas leap out of the water like acrobats performing just for you. What makes diving here even more magical is how comfortable the fish are around humans. They don't flee or hide. They swim right up to you, curious and fearless. You feel like you're part of their world, not an intruder. Every moment is an opportunity to capture photos and video that seem impossible anywhere else. No matter the season, Cabo Pulmo never disappoints. Every dive immerses you in a marine world that feels alive in every direction, full of energy, movement, and the astonishing diversity of life that makes this reef one of the most extraordinary places in the earth. The recovery of Cabo Pulmo is more than just a local success history. It is a powerful example of what's possible when people make the choice to protect nature. The reef wasn't just left to recover on its own. The community actively changed the way of life. Local fishermen that depended on harvesting every fish they could catch became guides, showing visitors the wonders of the reefs without harming it. Their knowledge of the sea, once used for extraction, is now used to teach, inspire, and protect. Tourists now come not to take but to experience, observe, and appreciate. They pay to see life flourish, not to deplete it. The reef is alive in a way that seems almost impossible given its near collapse just a few decades ago. And the community benefits too. Cabo Pulmo is no longer just a remote fishing village, it's a thriving hub of sustainable tourism. Visitors use guides, lodging, food, and services, creating jobs and economic stability for the locals. The message is clear: conservation and prosperity are not mutually exclusive, they can thrive together. Cabo Pulmo is a model the world could follow. It shows that a small, brave step can lead to a massive change. A decision to stop destructive practices, a commitment to sustainable tourism, and the courage to trust nature, these simple actions have created results that inspire hope. Every dive, every visit, every moment spent here reinforces a simple truth: protecting nature isn't just ethical, it's smart, powerful, and life-changing for the environment and for humans alike. Cabo Pulmo shows us what happens when nature is given a second chance. It doesn't just survive, it thrives. And speaking of survival and resilience, our next adventure takes us to another incredible history: the migration of the gray whales here in Baja California Sur. These giants traveled thousands of miles to the coast of Baja California Sur, bringing with them one of the most extraordinary natural spectacles on Earth. So stay tuned, because in the next video we will follow these majestic creatures up close, an encounter you don't want to miss. Thank you for watching.